We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
So you're telling me that you've started looks maxing?
Uh,
Are you familiar with that?
no, I'm not.
That's what they call it.
Looks maxing.
No, looks, Looks, maxing, as in MAX.
To max out your look.
Yeah. So you do everything possible to improve your looks week over week. Is that what you're telling me your agenda is for the next couple months?
I'm not sure.
It's
Doesn't
a
sound
fool's
right.
errand, Dave. It's a fool's errand.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, well, for you,
Yeah. How's it? I mean, how's it getting better than this?
Ah,
That's
I
why
see what you're doing.
I always said I had a face for radio.
And yeah, that's what everybody in radio says, including myself.
There you go. All right. Well, listen up, folks. We're back. It's kind of a downer a little bit because it's
Yeah.
episode 151. We've come off the road. I think the summer tour is finally over. You know that feeling you get when you got a suitcase full of dirty laundry and
Yeah, I just
get a little,
experienced that. So, we
yeah.
didn't even talk about my trip to Vermont because we were in the middle of the road trip.
We
Speaking
were on a
of
road trip and you took another road trip to Vermont.
to Vermont, yeah, I went to Vermont. I went to San Diego, like we discussed last week, or Carlsbad. And you were supposed to be in Tulsa tonight, but we can't find a place for you to stay. The Sigmund Kai House not open.
Yeah. Let's recap for the kids at home, the kids at the back of the room. I don't know if I can say that anymore. But in case you weren't listening, you can find us in previous episodes. We did a summer tour where we took advantage of Sigma Chi's Life Loyal Sig Life. No, is that right? Life Loyal Sigma Chi
Yep.
alumni status. And each one of these chapters, I think they gave a top 20, top 100 chapters. I don't know. But we tried to feature only the top 5. And we had the privilege of speaking with several of the consuls. Number one was a fellow by, oh boy,
Yeah,
I
I
know
don't
who.
think it's a, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but it was Purdue. That was Preston Bunch. What a call! And he's over at Purdue University. Man, I saw a picture of their house somewhere on social media today.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
beautiful. Good Lord. It had like a
unbelievable.
$17 million or $7 million renovation, remember?
Yeah.
So something like that.
Second place was Hugh Steinman. Hugh Steinman was at Missouri S&T. He's the big kid that's going to graduate with a master's in MBA and also engineering. Missouri S&T, the Theta Eta chapter. And then number 3 is Tulsa, but we couldn't get as Woody said, I couldn't get a place to stay. Delta Omega chapter. And then number 4 was Will Short. He's the consul over at Embry-Riddle, and they are the Theta Iota. Is that what they were? Eta Iota. Eta Iota is Embry-Riddle. And I got to meet Will Short in person. Did you see that picture?
Oh, that's right. I did see that. And our listeners might have seen it as well. That was on X, right?
Yeah. Follow us on X at Dave and Woody Pod. Nice transition there.
Yeah.
So Will Short, what a heck of a young man. He's much taller than I thought he was. When I stood up next to him, I'm going, you're kind of a big dude, man. Good looking kid. It looks like he's going to be doing well. We look forward to free drinks on the flights when he's piloting.
Yes, exactly. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to.
And lots of those little biscottis. But anyway, and then we talked to a young man over at Bradley University, and his name Delta Rho is the name of the chapter. And golly, not Hugh.
Right. Yeah, Hugh Steinman. No?
No, that was Missouri S&T. Oh, God, we just talked to this kid. All right, hold on.
Yeah, I feel bad because I didn't write his name down either. And I usually do because as bad as I am with names.
Oh, golly, this is ridiculous. Anyway, he's going to punch us.
Yeah, and we deservedly. Yeah.
I'll get it before it's all over.
Hayden.
Bradley, huh?
Hayden
Surratt.
Okay.
Hayden Surratt. Sorry, that was a pull. He got the first name and I pulled the second name. Hayden Surratt, and he is our consul that's going to be a nurse, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, nurse anesthetist.
Yeah.
is
So
this
he's got a
called.
lot of stuff going on over there. That again, that's over at Delta Row at Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, and he was from Springfield, hell of a town. All right, so that concludes the summer road trip or road. We call it a
Tour.
road trip, road tour, one chapter at a time. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
We
did. In fact, I'm a little lost at the beginning of today's show and getting into it because I'm used to introducing a guest, and now I'm stuck talking to you,
well, and the other thing is we're
essentially.
back in the studio, which is
Oh yeah,
Susu Studio, which is a good feel. It feels like we're home, right?
yeah, you could say
Yeah.
that.
When you're living out of a suitcase on the road, it's not always as cracked up to be. All right, let's do some traveling real quick. I've got a great what am I drinking thing, but I want to do some. You tell us about Vermont, then I can talk about Orlando, and maybe that'll spurn what am I drinking.
Well,
What
I
happened?
was
What do you want to
well,
do? It's your
well, my
show.
son is up, and I'm trying to think. Did we talk about it? I have no idea. I'm kind of lost, but if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But if not, hey. So my son is in Vermont, in Burlington, Vermont, on an internship this summer. So we decided to take a long weekend and go up and visit with him up there. I had never been to Vermont, that I can recall. At least maybe in my youth I had been. So of note, we went to the Ben and Jerry's factory.
Smoke some
Right.
weed.
You know what? Yeah, no. The factory is very small. Obviously, it's the original factory, and it was entertaining. It was a little fun. You get to have a flavor at the end that isn't available commercially. It's something they're trying. It's been so long now, I forgot what it was. I also made sure to stop by the Alchemists, which is a pretty famous craft beer
Mm,
up in that area, and they make something called a heady. I forget the name of it. And it's served like they do in Europe, where they have to pull
they
the
pull the pint.
lever. Yeah, and it's served that way, and so I enjoyed that. It was good. Supposedly, people wait like hours or something to get it, but it was so readily available or something. Maybe that's how it used to be, and now they make it year round. I don't know the story. A great place though. We had a dinner nearby, and then just went there for some after dinner drinks and good atmosphere. Hung out, had some good time there. We also did a day trip to Montreal.
Yeah.
So I entered
Oh, Canada.
Canada. Yeah, I had to get. I was told no dad jokes at the border, either direction. You don't put us in peril going through.
Oh, your family's like, don't screw around with the border because we want to get home.
Exactly, or yeah, or at least make it, get both directions. It's like, Dad, nothing. You can't say anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right,
I
all
had a bad
right.
experience in Montreal. Those guys pissed me off. But yeah, I don't want to take away from you. But yeah, so
Well, no,
that's
what you do? What happened to you in Montreal?
no, this is years ago. I think I've shared this the furniture trip that I went on, and they put us up in that dive hotel.
Yes, yes. Well, I didn't stay. We didn't stay the night, so it's just a day trip for us. I had never been there myself. We hung out in I guess they call it the wharf, or down by the water. Essentially, there's like any tourist town, there's a whole street or two of restaurants and shops and things of that nature. And we also visited they have a Notre Dame cathedral as
Yeah,
well there.
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, we went inside there.
That's right near Celine Dion's restaurant. Did you go there?
No, I probably couldn't afford it even if I
No, it's like a
did.
little ice cream pub.
Oh,
It's right
really?
across the street. Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't. We stopped early on down at the water's edge at some kind of
I think you got to cover a gambling debt or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Is that what it was? I was a little disappointed. I found it odd in the cathedral that and maybe because of the amount of people that come through there, so but the aisleway, between the pews down to the altar was like linoleum flooring. It seemed a little out of place for
The
if you
stonework.
look, it was the stonework and the woodwork, and just as anybody can picture a cathedral built a century or two ago. It's quite ornate and detailed. Nothing you'd be allowed to do in this day and age with the the free
OSHA.
money, so to speak. Yeah, yeah, that and free labor.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to protect the stone so it doesn't have those grooves in it. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. It was just kind of odd to me, but there was nothing about it, so I kind of just wrote that off. But we enjoyed it. It was I'd recommend. We also went to, when we first got there, we drove all the way up. There's a mountain behind the city, and there's a viewing area up there that you can. So we started out up there, kind of a view of the city from the western side back towards the St. Lawrence River.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
is that where Chateau Frontenac is? No, that's up in the St. Lawrence Seaway, but it's not near Montreal. It's further up, I think.
What is it? It's a chateau.
It's a big hotel.
So it could have been.
Montreal. It's a beautiful city. The French Canadians, I should say. They're the ones that want to secede.
Right. They want to succeed, Dave. They want to do good.
They don't want to prosper. They want to go, the other way.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's awesome. So you've been a traveling bug between San Diego, West. You're bi-coastal, man.
Yeah, well, I started in Hawaii in May, then in June went to the Vermont, and then in July went to Carlsbad, California. So I'm glad to be home this month, the month of August.
So my trips have included Pittsburgh and then Orlando. So it's quite the opposite. But anyway,
well, what did you do in Orlando?
So interesting question. This past Friday night Friday afternoon rather, was a luncheon. If you may remember the interview we did earlier, a couple weeks ago, with Alan Fidello and Tim Melnick. They were the recent inductees to the Order of Constantine, a very high honor for those who have given more than 21 years. I don't know what
20 hours of service and
20 years of service. Anyway, so I guess one of our brothers is a member over at the Orlando Country Club, so he got us sponsored. I was going to try and get his number, get a few drinks done. But
we'll get a few rounds in is what I'd prefer.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, listening to Dave and Woody, we'll get the first round. Everybody, the water's on me. But so lovely reception, lovely luncheon at the. I got to tell you, if you haven't been to the Orlando Country Club, last time I was there was probably 25 years ago, and it was a dump.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a dump, but it was definitely aged. It had been a while since it had seen a refresh.
Well, and even the neighborhood, you know how those neighborhoods time out where people, the geriatrics get old, they don't invest. It was absolutely gorgeous. They've
stepped it up. Okay,
they've raised the building. I thought I was at TPC for a minute, but it's incredible. They've got high security gates keeping the not the
riffraff.
Yeah, the riffraff out.
So how'd you get in?
Well, I drove my wife's car. So
yeah.
Two people came up to me and goes, "Did you drove your car? Did it make it?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, you talk about it on the show all the time." I was like, "Oh, that's pretty good." No, I drove my wife's late model Lincoln luxury car.
Oh, wow.
They let me in.
Okay.
But anyway, so we did the luncheon. Very nice turnout. 60 brothers.
What'd you get to eat?
I had the Dorado.
What's that? Is that a car? Is that a Dodge Dorado? What are we talking about? It's
another name for dolphin. So this fish has got more identity crisis. So you get dolphin. They call it dolphin fish, not to be confused with porpoise. Mahi mahi is the Polynesian Hawaiian name for it, and Dorado is the Spanish Latino word for.
I did not know that.
I didn't know it either, but blackened Dorado with some carrot spears, broccoli salad. I don't know. They had these little lemon squares for dessert. It was nice, and sodas and water for refreshments. So lovely lunch. But we went down. Sheila and I went down Thursday night, stayed over at the Dolphin Hotel. And I told her, let's get done.
Isn't that funny? You had that for lunch. You had the Dorado for lunch.
Yeah, that is pretty good. I didn't put that together.
You stayed at the Dorado.
Yeah, it was tasty. I should have said that.
So for those who don't know, so they have different star ratings for the hotel complexes at Walt Disney World. And I would think the Dolphin is probably a 4-star in their realm of things.
It's way up there.
Yeah, and
The
so it's the
Dolphin and the Swan.
Swan. Yeah, and they're across the street from what are the studio park
Yeah.
at Disney World. And when I worked there, that was some of the prime properties we would do our concerts in. Was
Well, it's
those?
amazing how I went there right after it opened. We did some Herman Miller stuff there, and it was those two hotels were out in the boondocks. They were at the
Yeah,
end of the universe, and
yeah.
it's just all gathered up around them. So
It's crazy how much they develop out there year
so
over year.
Thursday night, I told her let's just eat at the hotel, get familiar with that. So we went down to the little Mexican restaurant, well, the fine dining Mexican restaurant, and I drank I don't know, I must have had a
Margarita.
couple. No, I wanted a margarita. No, I did. I did have a margarita. I had two margaritas and started getting a little
Woo.
steamed. And then we went back to the room and she got us a view looking out over Epcot. So we got to see the fireworks. Epcot is straight
He is
out the
behind that.
window.
Yeah, behind you.
The other park you're talking about is out the front door.
Front. Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Well, from your place, all you saw was a swan out the front door, right?
no, we had the whole backside of we saw the Epcot, there's a
No, I meant
waterway.
never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The people
Yeah.
just trust
They're
me.
like, shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, go to X, you can see pictures of it. Anyway, so we did the fireworks, and I apparently Sheila goes, "You slept really hard." I go, "What is that? What does that mean?" And apparently the drinking had something to do with it, but I don't know. So I passed out, which was good. And then Friday morning, got up. We went down to the boardwalk, walked the loop, had breakfast, bagels. Spent a lot of money. And then
Yeah.
she got donned up for the pool over at the Dolphin. They have a pool and a beach, and I got dressed up with a jacket and a shirt and pants and went down to the luncheon. And
Good
then
thing you mentioned pants because I was afraid you
yeah, I
were.
wasn't gonna wear pants at first, but the sport coat I was okay with.
Apparently, dress code at the golf
Yeah,
club.
they were no flip flops, but pants were optional. But
I
anyway,
will say, hold on, before at that golf club when I played that, and it might still be this way, but it was an old school men's locker room
yeah,
where you came out of the locker portion and there were poker tables and a mini bar in a bar with a bartender sitting there and basically guys sitting around in their underpants playing poker and stuff.
yeah. You ever go to the YMCA and you're at the Y
Yes.
and like this 70, 80-year-old guy comes out of the shower and he's buck naked and then he wants to start talking to you. And I'm like,
exactly.
he's got his towel. It's not even covering anything.
No,
like,
it's not covering anything.
Yeah,
It's all swinging in the wind.
I'm like, come on,
What?
man. Anyway,
One of the Ys around here has a pool table in the locker room. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
good Lord, who's playing pool in here?
He's
But,
playing pinochle. All right, so let me finish the story. So, where was I? So we finished the dinner, and then the guys want to go to Wally's.
Oh, that's right.
And so I made a commitment to Sheila. I said, on my honor, on my badge, I am not going to drink because I'm committed to come back here to go to the Hoopty Doo Lounge, the review, to do it. Because I wanted to make this a trip about she and I as much as I did the guys. And last thing I wanted to do is go, hey, I'm hammered at Wally's. Come get me. So we go to Wally's, and I sent you a couple pictures. I think we saw the bowling alley. It was pretty funny. By the way, you can follow us on X at Dave and Woody Pod, and you can see some of those pictures. But good time, really good time to see the guys. A couple of them ordered drinks, and I just said, look, I got another engagement, so I took off from there.
Yeah, it's dangerous to have a drink at Wally's. I don't know if it's still saying now the Morgans of Morgan and Morgan own that property now.
Well,
right?
that's what we think it is. I don't want to be out there and then get sued by those bastards. But
yeah, I know. They got some
but I tell you what's different that all of us recognize. Remember when we went? There was not a top shelf brand. Everything was well brand. I don't
behind the bar. Yes, I've often thought about that. Like if I came in there and there was nothing. Yeah. It was.
Can I have a Tito's vodka? No, you're getting a Black Cat with a rock.
Whatever it is.
We're gonna wring out the sponge.
Now, in their defense, even back in the 80s, drinks were $1.25, and it was all liquor. It was just a liquor with a splash of mixer.
Grain. Yeah.
Right. So in their defense, they couldn't afford to serve anything.
I think it said no smoking at the bar for fear of starting fires. So anyway, I left Wally's, went back to the hotel, and Sheila was all dressed up ready to go. And I'm glad I held up my end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Um, and then to get to the Hoop-de-Doo review, this is a show. I know I'm telling too much story, but it's kind of funny. The Hoop-de-Doo review is really the last dinner theater that Disney does. It's still kind of fun. It's cheeky and the kids can like it, and slapsticky sort of
Is it
stuff.
like a doo-wop era? Is that why
No,
it's
it's
called
it's
that?
country western, so it's out there
Oh,
by
okay.
the campground.
Okay. All
And
right.
so there's no direct route from the Dolphin. You got to take a bus to
Yeah.
here, a bus to there, another bus over there. I'm like, no, this is bullshit. How do we do this? So we end up getting an Uber, and it costs us $12 to go right to the front door. And then once we figured out it would only take us that much time, we had an hour and a half to kill.
Right. At
So I'm
the
like,
hoop-de-doo.
no, at the hotel.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
So what do we do? And she goes, well, let's go to the bar.
Of course. What
So
else would you do?
this is the setup for what am I drinking. So Woody, I have to give Woody
Oh,
props for this.
so
Yeah,
what
what am
are
I
you
drinking?
drinking tonight, Dave?
Well, that's the funny thing you mentioned that. I am drinking a bourbon cocktail that we
Yeah,
want to
it's
get
there.
into a little bit of
Yeah.
a mix. It's called a Revolver, a bourbon revolver. If you're not familiar with it, Woody told me about it one time in passing. And for those of you that are bourbon fans, I don't claim to be a bourbon expert by any means. I'm just a guy that enjoys bourbon. And you're going to hear in the future this little bit I do. What am I drinking? I'll talk about some of the bourbon experiences I'm having, but by no means we're going to be one of those shows where they, oh, the nose is this and the palate is that, and I'm getting this on the front of the palate and this on the back. P.S. We're just going to talk about what I'm enjoying and having a good time with. But anyway, back to the revolver. So the revolver is 2 ounces of what they suggest a high rye mash bill bourbon. So that would be like a bullet, for example. Bullet bourbon seems like it makes sense to go a bullet with a revolver, but I didn't have any bullet on hand, so I'm using what am I using?
How much of that have you drank already, Dave?
I'm using Maker's Mark, which is not a high rye mash bill, but it's tasty. And I had it that night with oh wow, I'm really not Forester, but
Makers?
no, I had it with Woodford Reserve,
Oh, that's a
which is
nice.
which
Yeah.
is nice, and it was
Yeah.
very mellow with it. So let's get on with the recipe. I was stroking out there for a minute. So it's 2 ounces of high rye mash bill bourbon, half an ounce of coffee liqueur, such as Kahlua. I'm using Kahlua. There's about 2 or 3 other coffee liqueurs you can use. 2 dashes of orange bitters, and I'm using an Angostura product. You stir well with an ice mixer. I'm using my Sigmachi
Oh, really?
tumbler. Yeah, that's a nice little mixer. And then you strain it into a chilled glass, which I've got here, and you can garnish it with a sliver of an orange peel. You can light it on fire. Whatever.
All
The
that
whole point of
garbage.
this is how do I make a cocktail that I don't have to have all these different parts and pieces?
Right. I
So
skip the peel, the zest, as they
yeah,
like to
I
call it.
didn't do the peel either.
And I
And
don't do the straining or any of that stuff.
well, I took a knife because I don't have that strainer. It's packed up somewhere, and I took a knife and I held it over so the ice cubes didn't go into my drink. Whoops!
Oh,
And
I
this is
see what
this
you're
is the
doing.
chilled glass. So
Gotcha.
now I did something kind of crazy. I have probably 10 sets of 4 rocks glasses, and I don't drink bourbon out of a Glencairn. I it's too small for my hands. So I like a double rocks glass, and if it fits my hand, it's the better. I just got these from Crate and Barrel. They were on sale for like $3.76. They're nice and heavy. They got a kind of a
What
rib for
happened
you.
to your glass from last year?
Well, I got those still, but I want to
Okay.
switch it up a little bit. They're ribbed for her pleasure, these glasses,
I
but
see that. Yeah.
so
Her pleasure.
so that is the bourbon revolver. 2 ounces of a high rye bourbon mash, half an ounce of coffee liqueur such as Kahlua. You probably have that at your bar. 2 dashes of orange bitters. You may need to go out and get some of that, and then basically stir it up in ice for 30 seconds in a mixing glass, and then strain it into your chilled glass, and it looks like that.
It's
And
just,
it's
yeah, it's nice. I enjoy them. Did you enjoy it?
oh He made it with the
Oh,
Woodford Reserve, and I had they were what were they $10, 10, 20.
that's it?
No, they were $20
Yeah, that sounds
per
more like
per
Disney to
cocktail.
me. It's
So we had 4 cocktails for $80 just in booze.
oh, it says when we went to that a horse track I was
I was
talking
hammered, by
about.
the way.
Oh, really?
Oh,
On 2 of those, huh? Yeah,
well,
I guess
because
that's 4 shots.
let's
Yeah.
hold the horse track because I don't eat carbs anymore. I'm on this protein thing, and you know how when you walk, when you got a little bit in you, and you kick
Yeah.
your feet out when you walk, and I'm like, Sheila, we got to get some food in Dave because this is not going to end well. So anyway, you were
he's
talking
gonna
about
be
the horse.
he's gonna be on the horse at the doo-wop, whatever it's called.
But we did get there in fashion, and I got some food in me, and I didn't drink anymore. They had free beer with the meal, and I was like, no, I don't want any more to drink. So
Wow. I would have gone all in on the free beer. I'm sure they cap you at 2 beers,
well,
Dave.
I ate like a horse. They gave you all the fried chicken and all the ribs and beans and
Oh,
mackerel,
okay.
and I'm
All
still
right.
trying to maintain. So
Very good. I didn't even know Disney had that kind of deal anymore. I thought you had to pay to get into parks, but I do know that campground does it. It operates a little differently than the rest of
yeah,
the
you could go out there and never go to the park and have a good time.
right.
A lot of people do
And
that.
we used to do that all the time as college kids out at Disney World, right? Well,
Really?
there's that Pleasure Island or whatever. I don't even think that's around
Yeah,
anymore.
that's not there anymore. It's
Called something else. They turned it into a full-on shopping center, essentially.
Disney Springs or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, regardless, well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a fun trip. It was good seeing it wasn't quite the 50th anniversary celebration. Patrick Kelly was there.
Oh, that's
Um,
right.
oh, let me tell you about this real quick. So you show up, people recognize me. Obviously, I'm kind of recognizable. And I can't tell you, maybe 20 people came up to me telling their story about listening to our podcast. And Charles Bell, got to give a shout out to Charles Bell. He says, "Hey, I'm your Homosassa Springs connection. You read off the." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, you read off the cities. I'm Homosassa." I'm like, "What are you doing over there?" He's got a place he goes
Is
over
that
there and
like a
goes
Homo
fit.
sapien?
Well, yeah, something like that. But
Okay.
he gets off work Friday, gets in the car, runs over there. He's got a place on the water over there, and he puts the boat in the water, and he likes the bourbon too. He had
He takes
a
to the water on Friday. I don't blame him. If I could get up to Tennessee in an afternoon, I would be doing the same thing every weekend, for
so
sure.
he puts on the show, enjoys it, kicks back, enjoys
Good.
the good life. So Charles Bell, great seeing you over the weekend, and thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Patrick Kelly, got to be a number one fan. Patrick
Yeah,
Kelly,
easily.
Paul Matinka. I'm not supposed to say his name, maybe, but big fan. We'll talk about that some other time. He's extended the olive branch, so he really wants to make amends somehow. But we'll get to that at one point, maybe. All John Rankin, all the big guys, they love the
Okay.
show. So we're making some strides there. We got a nice firm base. We got to keep building on it, which we're doing. So thanks
Well,
to all the
well,
guys in Orlando.
well, you were living large at Disney World this weekend. I was taking in NASCAR racing for the weekend because they were in Indianapolis, Indiana at the world famous
The Brickyard.
Indianapolis. Yeah, well, the Brickyard. Yes, that's the name of the race, but yes, that's they've come to call the racetrack itself the Brickyard over the days because famously it was originally built with bricks.
Makes sense.
Did you know
Isn't
that?
it bricks underneath the asphalt? They didn't tear the bricks up, did they?
They have, yeah, eventually they did pave over it, but eventually as racing became, engineered safety and stuff to
Guess
get
you don't
to
want to
get,
you don't
yeah,
want to paver brick at 200 miles an hour clipping across your front end.
that and to get the road,
Yeah.
smooth enough and everything like that. They eventually took out all the bricks, but there is 1 yard of bricks at the start finish line.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's the brick yard piece kind of came into play when
Oh,
they
I got you.
instituted that. So
So what
and
happened?
well, I mean, a first time winner in the B series, if you will, on Saturday, a gentleman Carson. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Koppel or something like that. It's
What,
KVAPPIL,
what number car is he?
number one.
Oh, Wow, number
Yeah,
one.
I know. And he came in first. But that was he was a first time winner. So and famously there's Junior Motorsports, which is owned by Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
And his drivers came in first, second, third, and fourth
Mm.
that day. So obviously it was rigged,
Yeah.
like everybody always claims
Hello.
NASCAR racing is. But
Like
he was
wrestling.
he was, as you like to say, verklempt at the end of the race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was. He had some tears in his eyes watching one of his drivers win for the first time. So that was interesting. And then a part-time driver on the A series on Sunday won that race, Corey Heim. And so that was his second time this year winning, and he's a part-time driver. He's only 24 years old.
Was he working
Ma-
UPS when he's not on the track or something?
he races the B series mainly. But yeah, I'm pretty much sure he's guaranteed a ride for next year in
Yeah.
the A series because of his ability. And he won on a road course and an oval. I don't know if you classify the Indy 500 as an oval necessarily because it's not highly banked and it's got straightaways, short straights that are called between turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's an unusual track. I like it because it's more of a driver's track than a floor. Like it's a super speedways. They're pretty much got the pedal to the metal the entire lap. Where at Indy, you have to let go, even though it's a 2.5 mile track with extreme speeds, you can't maintain that speed because there's very little banking in the
Uh-huh.
turns. So they have
Fly
to,
off the
yeah,
track.
right. So there's some negotiating with the with the handling and the braking and the downshifting that you kind of play that strategy, figuring out turns. And apparently, as it's concentric and not concentric, as symmetrical as the track is, the two sets of turns, actually, you need a different strategy on each end of the track, according to the drivers. One strategy doesn't play in either one. So it was fun to watch. So number 67, Corey Heim, won the A series on Sunday. And so I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend. They're off this weekend. So
What
I don't
what
know.
what, what are they doing?
They're
The
just not doing
season's not.
anything.
That's
They're not
weird.
racing this weekend.
I guess
So
everybody needs a retune up or something.
I guess they can't race every week. They don't have a very long break. They finish in October and start again in February.
And
So
then when racing's over, do you transition to be a football fan, or what do you do?
I mingle across both through September and early October, right? I'll watch football and NASCAR, but yeah, then it's hardcore football from there on out. So I need something on the weekends. I just like something sports to watch.
Well, it's hard to justify the big tumbler of bourbon at the sofa when you're
Yes,
like,
for just
honey, there's
playing on a
nothing on the
computer.
TV. You could be doing yard work. I'll find something.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I
we're
can
gonna.
always resort to golf, but golf sucks. They split the leagues in half, right? The
Yeah,
live, but it looks like live
I think it's
is
out. They're done.
it's not going to live, right? Yeah,
No,
they canceled.
short-lived.
They're canceling this week. Well, to me it was dumb, and not that I'm a uppity proper golf person, but I'm not going to a golf tournament to see a concert, right? They
Yeah,
were trying to. It was just dumb. They went too far the other direction. And, I get the athletes in shorts and stuff. I guess I'm an old timer. It just didn't feel right.
no, I
It
agree.
almost felt like they were
And
normal
carts.
golfers.
Didn't they have
Yeah.
carts too? I
Not,
think they drove around in carts too, or
they
something.
might have. They might have. I'm not sure.
It's
I never
still
really watched it.
it's still as much. I was never really a golf fan when I was a kid until I got to old enough to play it. Then I realized how tough it was. But it's really a gentleman's game, and once you've been in a club setting and been around guys that are, it's eh,
There's some decorum you
yeah, and
expect.
there's nothing wrong with that. I think we could, as a society, we could use a little decorum in our lives. So some tradition,
Right.
some good things. So yeah, all
Yeah.
right. Well, and we've got UCF football coming up. I know
Oh,
both of
that's
us are
true.
UCF graduates, proud alumni, Fighting Knights. Um, I've kind of stepped away from the game a little bit, me being a former coach and all, not at UCF, but at high school level. But
Well,
I did talk to John Rhodes in Orlando, and he's like, Theus, you coming down to a couple games? So September 12th, we're playing Pitt
oh,
at
really?
Pitt. Yeah, and my
Oh,
brother,
at Pitt.
yeah, my sister-in-law, Sheila's sister, and her brother-in-law are Pitt. They're graduates. Remember, that's the Tower
Yes.
of Learning. Well, they're graduates from Pitt, and they have season tickets. So I don't think I'm going to go up there and mooch off of them. But the following week, the 19th, is my birthday, and I'm thinking that Sheila and I are thinking about going down for the Georgia State game at UCF. So we're going to be picking up some UCF coverage. Again, we're not experts in the game, but we do want to bring us some flair and support our alma mater and be
I was
good
on the
guys.
broadcast team for UCF radio football, right?
I did UCF jazz radio for about 3 weeks downstairs in the
That has
library.
nothing to do with football.
Oh, okay.
Dave played jazz on the loudspeakers. They're like,
Yeah,
no,
I was like, come over and see
that's
my
enough.
etchings. And now for the UCF theme song, "Take 5" by Dave Brubeck. Okay, well that's interesting.
So we can. Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're interested, but that's okay. We can speak to that at another time.
Well, we definitely want to be including our UCF fan base and brethren, because one thing, it's a big, massive marketplace, and we need to gather some more listeners. But the reality is, UCF was good to us. I think it was a good foundation.
Yeah.
And a good college. There's some things going on down there I'm not totally agreeing with, but the reality is,
here's the bizarre thing. Here's the bizarre thing. So, two of my kids applied there just kind of out of, I'm interested, right?
Right.
And one of them got, I can't remember how the first one, but the second one was turned down because they required a 4.0 GPA to get into UCF. And I'm like, what? They have like 50,000 students at this place. Not all of them could be 4.0
well,
GPAs.
That's what they do. That's why they do that. I forgot to check and see what the Fed did today, but that's kind of like what they do. Is their policy is, if it's overcrowded, they raise the standards. So
okay.
they were 68,000 kids going there at one point. You gotta raise the threshold so that you gotta slow down the enrollment, I guess.
I guess because I was like, yeah, and she was not over 4.0, but close, and I'm like, how did I get in? Is the real question.
You needed an 810 on the SAT.
Yeah, it was fairly low.
I got an 810. So
did you? I took it once, and I got like a 950. And I looked at UCF's requirements, and like you said, it was an 810. I'm like, guess I'm going to UCF.
Well, they always did it. My testing was Saturday mornings after Friday night football. And so I'd be like slonked out from Friday night playing high school football. And then I'd have to go sit for that. Steve, I won't tell you his last name because they're making embarrassed. But one of my buddies who I played football with, he was my guard, my guard on my side. The same Saturday morning I took the test, he fell asleep right next to me, and I didn't wake him
during
up.
the test.
He had a big drool all over, and they had to disqualify him, and he had to take the test again. He goes, "Why didn't you wake me up?" And I'm like, "Nah, you look like you were enjoying yourself."
Oddly enough, his drool filled in the correct circles on the
Scantrons.
Scantron, and he got a 1200, whatever the 1400, whatever the perfect score is back then. Yeah, I did not study for it. I just walked in on basically that Saturday, took it, and the score was good enough to me.
Yeah, I said, we're doing this one time, and that's it. 810, boom.
So interesting. Hey, you did say you want to speak. We're getting close to the end. You did say you wanted to cover the market today, I believe.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a little fun market recap
well,
today.
How is your stock doing that you usually
I don't like
to
talk about that right now, Woody. It's
oh, really? Okay.
Well, we're in a holding pattern. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha.
We got a couple things loaded up, ready to pull the trigger. We just get our ass out of Iran. I think we can do this thing.
All right.
We're not in trouble, but
right? But you're just not making. Yeah, you're not anything to brag about. Let's put it that way.
But we're positioned well. That's what they like to say in the market. We're well positioned.
So when my investor guy says that, I should take note.
Yeah, if he says you're well positioned, that means nothing's happening. Okay, so again, we're not experts. Just like my disclaimer in bourbon, Woody's disclaimer.
Or
Well, no,
anything else we talk about.
well, we don't know
matter.
what the hell we're talking about. Woody's
Right.
probably the closest to an expert when it comes to racing. Um, the bourbon thing, I hope everybody understands. I'm just a guy who enjoys it, kind of like my cigars. I found a cigar that I enjoy. I'm not one of these guys that tells you how much it tastes like dirt or leather. I hope you can appreciate that, and we can find some listeners that agree with that. But anyway, so today's market, I just wanted to recap a couple things. SpaceX, Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, SPCX is the trading symbol. Everybody knows what that is, right? Elon Musk. On his IPO opened up June 12th at $150. It is closed today at 112.55, so down 25%.
What did it get up to though in a day's
It probably got
following?
closer to over to 200 at some point.
I've always thought that of course, you don't see every IPO, right? Is there an IPO every day? I don't know how often they occur.
Well, it's standard pretty much, especially that IPO got a lot
Yeah,
of
press.
push. But a
Right.
lot of those guys, that whole thing is driven by push or by press. And so it
Right.
went from 150 to 180 and jumped all the way up.
So I always thought buy if that's why there's institutional, the people, that's why well, first they get paid to do the IPO for them, right? These banks, but
the
they
broker,
yeah, they also get most of the times they get a piece of the action, right?
yeah, they take shares, yeah.
Right. And then you
Well,
probably trade them that day on the high and get
this is
out.
pretty standard operating procedure. I mean, the guys that are inside, they know that an IPO is gonna push way up, and it's kind of like a new restaurant in town. You don't want to go the first week. You let everybody get the kinks out. So it's gonna cover. I think Elon was on the news and we knew this was gonna happen. He's trying to cover it a little bit. But $112.55. Gold closed today at 4,097 dollars and 2 cents per ounce. Silver closed at $57.53 per ounce, which is a little painful because at my 25th anniversary it was $78 an ounce. So in keeping with being married, it always costs you a little bit more,
That's
So when I
right.
bought those ounces for our 25th anniversary, copper closed at $6.31 per pound.
Is that down, up? Where is that?
I don't know. But I thought it was interesting to put it in here. 39 cents per ounce. Aluminum, in case for those guys out there on the side of the road collecting aluminum cans, $3,159 per ton.
Oh, ton.
Yeah,
Yes. I'll be all over that.
$1.58 per pound, or 90 or 0.098 per ounce.
Copper theft is a big problem, right?
Well,
And that's why I was asking where the price was.
It used to be big on building sites, right? When they were stringing copper
Well,
for phone and
when I was in the wireless industry, we put those big ground bars on the side of the huts, and they steal those. And you know what the funniest thing was? You know how we prevented them stealing them in the going forward?
Painted them.
Yep, painted them green.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, it's not copper.
Yeah, so you can buy bullion in copper now. You can buy like 10-pound bars and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lead.
Lead.
$1,855 per metric ton, $9.27 per pound, or $1.58 per ounce. So if you're looking in your tackle box, you got a bunch of those 1 ounce weights. Don't throw them away. They're worth $1.58.
A couple make up a metric ton in a hurry.
And bringing in the final market recap, clean fill dirt is ranging from $8 to $25 per cubic yard, or on average $839 per truckload.
Really?
Of course, that's delivered
expensive.
in a certain area that's designated that's available for their delivery.
Why is that in the market?
It's not. That was just my little ad.
I'm like,
I put lead in there.
I'm like, what?
If you're long on lead, just don't store it in your house, okay?
Or lick it.
Hey, kids, that extra bedroom is where we're keeping all the lead. Stay out of there.
Now you made me forget. I did have a question for you. We had a couple minutes left. I'm like, we were talking about lead, and lead was real, right?
Oh, lead's real. Yeah, that's $1,855 per metric ton, $9.27 a pound.
That's what it was. Is Alexa back online yet?
I don't. You're going to ask me about what's the difference in a metric ton, right?
Yeah. What is a metric ton?
Alexa, what is a metric ton?
A metric
It's just-
ton or
oh.
ton equals 1,000 kilograms, about 2,204.6 pounds, used worldwide to measure mass.
Okay, so a ton that we know about is 2,000 pounds.
Right. So it's 200 pounds more than a
Yeah,
ton.
figure the metrics. They're always
Yeah. They're always
like
playing game. I
a
do think we
meters-
should switch to the metric system.
well, this old horse ain't gonna learn it. So
Well, that's fine.
I didn't want to know it in 76 either. When Jimmy Carter was
Jimmy Carter tried it. Yep. I remember the big argument was, well, to make the football stadiums bigger. It's like no one said you had to change from yards, or to strictly from yard to meter, right?
Oh, that's interesting. I think about that.
Yeah.
First
So
down
anyhow,
and 3 meters to go.
go. Right. So
All right. Well,
anyhow, we're out of time.
our first episode back off the road. It was good to be back in the studio. Be on the lookout. We've got a new segment. We've just come off the summer tour. We're going to introduce a segment called Life Loyal. And it will not be every week. We're looking at maybe once or twice a month, but we're going to introduce Sigma Chi alumni that have been, like us, that have been successful in their business tour. And we want to talk
successful. Okay.
Yeah, we want to talk to alumni and find out what was it about their experience, maybe at the chapter house or during their time at Sigma Chi, that brought influence and their successful leadership traits to the business place as well, and maybe their personal life, their family life. What made them?
Well, those are attributes anybody can use, right?
Yeah, but
In
what
life.
was it about Sigma Chi that brought some value to their life that they see today that was from the past? And we've got a couple people lined up. We've got some big hitters. We got one that could break this thing wide open. So I'm excited about that. And we'll look forward to that on the way coming up. Any other final notes for the good of the order there, Mr. Woody?
Subscribe. That's kind of similar to pay your dues. So subscribe down in the corner there,
that
people.
doesn't cost you anything, though.
It's true. It's true. It's going to cost you a click.
All right.
So are you trying to find the hang up button?
I got it now. I was just looking up to see what the stars were doing.
Okay. All right, Dave.
Anyway, all right. Until next time, Godspeed and guard well on the cross. We'll see you again soon. Peace.